Hello to everyone at the J event. I think you know I'd much rather be there with you in person, and I've been there so many times in the past because I love the music and the singing and the celebration and the great videos. But now I'm joining you via video because I'm in Washington. I want to thank, well, not really, not right now, but I will be when you're watching the video. I want to thank Joshua Wirt, the CEO of Sabes JCC, Michael Waldman, the CEO of the St. Paul JCC, and all the local business and faith leaders, and so many of you that are supporters of the JCC. For 3 years now, this important joint event, and I was there with you at the beginning, has been a symbol of the importance of unity. Of course, both of your communities have done great work separately, and it's tough to find a Minnesotan who doesn't have fond memories from their time at the JCC, including me. As many of you know, the JCC is where my dad played racquetball and where he found that 10-speed orange American Aero bike at the fire sale, which we broke in with the 255-mile ride across the state later that week. Thousands of people come into the JCC for your programs and to be part of the community. And you've recognized that by working together, you can do even more. That means your children attending preschool or camp. It means more families receiving scholarships to help pay for services. It means more seniors getting involved with activities to support their social and physical well-being. And it means more people experiencing and engaging in the Jewish culture. Together, you're touching more lives than ever before and serving people of all faiths, backgrounds, levels of ability, and needs. You're living out the concept of tikkun olam, acts of kindness performed to improve and even repair the world. There is no better time to have that happen than now. You think of that heinous crime and the shooting of those seniors at that synagogue. I don't have to tell you about these acts of hatred and anti-Semitism that we have seen all over our country. As you know, it wasn't just the synagogue in Pittsburgh. You've experienced a surge of hateful threats and crimes yourself. Last year, when we saw over 500 people at the JCC in St. Louis Park, seniors and children rushed out of a place where they were supposed to be safe. And just a month later, the same thing happened at the St. Paul JCC. We grieve for the victims of these crimes, we grieve for their families, and yes, we grieve for our country. But grieving is not enough. Conviction without courage isn't enough. Words without action aren't enough. Just look to Dr. Jerry Rabinowitz. Throughout his life, Jerry dedicated himself to his patients. During the 70s and 80s, he worked on the front lines of the AIDS epidemic, caring for men who turned to him for help, showing them compassion, holding their hands at a time when so many others refused to treat them, let alone touch them. Jerry was one of the victims at the Tree of Life Synagogue, and when he heard the shooting, he ran towards his people. He looked for people who were hurt. He didn't run away. He lived a life of tikkun olam, of trying to help repair the world, even at a time when it seemed the most broken. And the best way we can honor his memory and the memory of everyone that's been lost in your community to hatred for decades and centuries is to do the same, to stand up, to speak up, to step up. Because if we don't, who will? It starts by coming together for something greater than ourselves. Those are actually the last words that Senator McCain said to me when I visited him at their ranch. And John and I went down there and visited with him and Cindy in Arizona. And he pointed to those words in his book. There's nothing more liberating than fighting for a cause larger than yourself. Will you know that your community and what you stand for and the Jewish culture and your traditions are larger than yourself? And sometimes that means standing up and speaking out against hatred, but sometimes it just means teaching a little kid a story. Sometimes it just means having a holiday meal together. Sometimes it just means inviting a senator to the JCC so she can see all the kids dancing, all the kids at movie night, right? It is sharing your culture with the world. That's what you do so well. So I want to thank you for making this world a better place. Like you, I am very happy the election is behind us, its own form of divisiveness. Maybe you don't agree on all the candidates, but we do agree. We're really happy there's no more ads. Are you cheering right now? I hope you are. But in any case, I see this as a moment of new beginnings. And after what happened in the last month with the Jewish community, it's a time of new beginnings for you too. Because we need to go back and work with our communities, and I need to go back to Washington, as I am now, working with my colleagues in a way that reduces the hate, reduces the rhetoric, and brings people together. No better place to have it happen than with all of you. Thank you.